When the big C hits someone that you love in your life, it can be very devastating. But to see people that have survived not just once, but twice, ikaw na.
Winner, parang ganon.
No, but I mean...
Yeah, I don't want to take it lightly. I mean, you know, yeah.
But walk us through that, Tetta. I mean, when you first got diagnosed with breast cancer, at what stage were you in your life?
Actually, the first time, when I found the lump, and I went to my doctor, I was actually diagnosed at stage 1. So, sabi ng breast doctor ko, dali lang yan, it's just surgery, you know, maybe some chemo or something, but highly curable, so don't worry about it. Then I went for my surgery, and during the surgery, we found a surprise, and it was something that my breast doctor didn't actually see. Yeah, and also, you know, she didn't expect. So when she opened me up, she saw suspicious lymph nodes, meaning my cancer had actually moved from my breast to my lymph nodes. So right there and then, I moved up to stage 2. Because once it moves from the primary, then it becomes stage 2, right? So she took about 17 lymph nodes, which is kind of substantial. And then, syempre, pathology test yun, di ba? After we got the final diagnosis, I had actually moved up to stage 3A because I had more than 5 suspicious lymph nodes. So, imagine going from stage 1 to stage 3A, parang, you know, you go like, why? Diba? Because I remember when I was recovering from surgery, yung, diba, naka-anesthesia ka, tapos parang medyo hilo-hilo ka pa. Sabi ko, so, what happened? Well, there's good news and there's bad news. I remember my husband saying, the good news is, you know, we got the tumor out. The bad news is, you're now stage 2. And then I remember, before I went back to, like, you know, sleepy, groggy pa ako eh. Oh, can it get any worse? You know, I said, but it's okay. And then I went back to sleep. And then, of course, from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3A, parang, okay, it did get worse. But, you know...
What have you learned through all of this, though, Tetta? The first time first. Kasi there's a second time pa eh.
Okay, the first time, I'm really very grateful because I will never ever wish cancer on anybody. But when I actually got it, I realized how important my faith was, because I was physically, spiritually, emotionally, I was just ready, you know, in every sense of the word. Number 2, I realized that all the years of working hard in the gym, exercising, being very disciplined about just taking care of myself really helped me through the whole process, because I saw my body literally fight. You know, maybe, you know, you will hear when you go through chemo na nanghihina ka, di ba, na parang you have loss of appetite. You know, sometimes you have to stop treatment because your body cannot take all the toxin. But to be honest, I was very strong throughout my chemo. I was exercising between sessions and didn't have the usual nausea and alam mo yung vomiting and all of that. And, you know, my kids can tell you that between chemos, we would go have dinners together out, lunch out.
So
we would watch movies.
Teta? Maswerte ka?
I think, you know, yes, you can call it luck, but I guess, you know, that was also where faith, my belief in God, because when I really found out, I said, you know what, I'll do what I have to do to live and to get through this, but I know that God's gonna take care of me too. And I had an amazing support group. My family was incredibly supportive. Of course, I know it was tough for them, but then also that was one of the reasons why I said, I have to fight. I have to show them that, you know, that I will get over this, because I did not want the people around me to suffer.
Eh, paano when you learned about the second time that nag-reoccur naman?
The second time, I was in New York with my daughter because she was
going to college naman.
No, she was having an internship in New York. And the funny thing was, you know, pang 4th year ko na yon na in remission. So sabi ko, wow, 1 year na lang. Parang you cross that 5-year, di ba, line. And then I didn't think anything about it. I was actually in Manila, and I remember my daughter telling me, Mama, before you come to New York to see me, you have to have your checkup, which I do religiously every year. Except that for some reason, last year, na-delay yan kasi I was so busy.
Yes,
so
you were doing a TV show, you're writing your column.
lots of stuff. I was keeping
you're
very
still
busy.
active.
Very much so. So, ang original schedule ko niyan is usually May. But then sabi ko, okay, so I went back to Tokyo just to have my tests. So that was July, and then I told my husband, okay, ikaw na lang ang mag-pick up ng test results ko. I really didn't think anything about it because I said, what are the chances for me to get cancer a second time, right?
But you did.
But I did. And, when I found out, I was in bed with my daughter. I remember we cried a little bit, but then I said, you know what? First thing is, I am not going to stop myself from enjoying this vacation with you. We
You will continue living
life.
and loving every part of it.
Yeah, and of course, hindi naman ako nagpabaya. I called my breast doctor and I told her what the situation was and everything because when I got diagnosed this time, it was in Tokyo already.
Yeah.
So then sabi ng doctor ko, well, you have some time, for you to do the mastectomy because when you have it the second time, it's protocol that you have to remove the affected breast. And in my case, the second cancer came out almost at the same spot where I had it the first time. So I had my breast removed, the right breast, after I came back from New York. Because
But all throughout this process, you've been very vocal about it.
Yes.
And you've become an advocate, really.
I have.
for it,
I have
diba?
been. But not like appearing publicly and all of that. If people come up to me and ask, I'm open about it. Sometimes I write about it on my Instagram. I've written articles about it in Philippine Star, where
Yes.
I'm a columnist.
And now she's sharing her story on Kababayan
yes.
Today.
Yeah,
Exclusive po yan. She'll share more when we return. We'll be right back.